It's Jo here, back with another pick a card reading. You can see behind me I'm setting up for the new moon in Libra. So Libra, I really struggle with this word. I think it's, I don't even want to talk about it. What's it all about? It's about finding balance and harmony in your life. It's about setting new intentions around finding balance and harmony in your life. It is a great time to think about what's working and what's not working in your life, and reorganize it, reframe it, and bring it into balance. And with Libra, we always think about those scales and bringing them into balance. And energetically in our life, if we can do that, things start feeling better and we start going with the flow of life. So a really good time to set your focus on your intentions and work with the cycles of the moon, which I love doing. So I'm going to jump right into this video. If you haven't seen one, if this is your first time to my channel, my name is Jo, and I love working with oracle cards and doing pick a card readings. I find so much joy out of doing it. It's really exciting, and I get to use my intuition, which I love doing. I love doing pick a card readings because I feel like I'm helping you access your guidance from your guides, from your higher self, from whoever it is that you believe in, whatever divinity you believe in. And I love working with the moon and the cycles of the moon. So if you enjoy those things, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I do a new video. The next shot you're going to see will be the cards, so that you can choose which card you're going to work with today. All cards, you may be guided by your guides to work with more than one pile. Trust your intuition and focus on going with what you're guided to do. Thanks for joining me today. Check the timestamps below if you know which card you're going to be working with, and I'll see you in your reading. So it's all about the energies coming up for you at the time of the Libra new moon. So all about balance, harmony, beauty, all of those sorts of wonderful things. So focus on that idea that you're focusing on the energies of the new moon, and deep breathing all the way into your belly, and let your intuition guide you. We have 4 cards. We have the first pile with a card underneath which says contentment. We have pile 2, which is accompanied by another card called beauty. The third one is delight, and number 4 is self-respect reversed. And I'm going to call this out so that you're aware, but I want you to use your intuition and not your mind. But 3 of the cards are reversed. That's not always a bad thing. It's simply that your guides want to send you quite a strong message, and they want you to notice. So if you're drawn to pile number 2 or 3 or 4, then those cards are going to be reversed. But like I said, that's not necessarily a bad thing. So go ahead and focus on the energies coming up for you at the time of the Libra new moon. So a time about setting new intentions. So things that may come up in this reading are things about where do you need to set new intentions to bring balance and harmony in your life? Where do you need to focus in your life about restoring harmony and balance, about self-love, about restoring the equilibrium in home and work life? There's lots and lots of ways this can come up. But anyway, they're the things that I just wanted to talk about at the start of this video. So now I want you to take another good look, if you haven't already, and choose from pile 1, 2, 3 or 4, or a multiple if you're being guided to more. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up for me. And if you like pick a card readings, please subscribe to my channel for 2 pick a card readings, not weedings, each week. And hit the notification bell so that you're notified each time a new one is loaded up. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you in your reading. And here we have pile number 1 with contentment. And your first card is focus. And it's a 33. So when we get master numbers like 33, it's kind of like our guides really want us to pay attention and really focus in our energies. So in Libra season for you, it's about bringing grounding your energy and focusing on whatever it is that's coming up for you, and not allowing yourself to be scattered, and let your energy become scattered at this time. And really, so you can see that on this card that there is an arrow that is pointing down to the ground, and we're in a treed environment or a wooded environment with green. And there's a little symbol up there again. And these are called sacred journey markers in this particular deck. And so it's kind of like you may have some synchronicities happen at this time. So around the time of the new moon, you may also have some deja vu moments coming in. And I feel like it's like your guides want you to notice and to really focus on what's happening at the moment. It's really important for you. That's why you've got that 33 as a master number. And then we have this card, contentment. As a master, I have come to terms with and accept who I am. I no longer compare myself with others. So we're just going to put that up there for now and see how that comes into the reading. And I'm using cards today that I haven't used before. So these are new cards for me. They're not new, but for me they are. So we'll see what these cards want to talk to us about. We've got the goddess Pomona, which is plenty. We've got medicine guardian, be open to healing information. Great teacher, learn from spiritual experiences. We have one animal spirit messenger coming in for you today, which is buffalo and abundance. You are provided for in all ways. And lastly, medicine. Well, and we've got quite a lot of sacred geometry happening around. So we've got sacred geometry here, here, and here. So some really interesting cards here and colours that we're dealing with. So I'm just checking to make sure that this is not totally wonky for you, which is a little bit. So we've got the green, which is about healing. And then we have those sort of rusty brown colours, which I feel is very much about grounding for you, which is indicated in this first card. So let's have a look at the deeper messages for you around the time of the Libra new moon. So it's a time of setting intentions. It's a time of bringing things into balance. And I'm noticing the medical caduceus that we have here that is in the medicine guardian. I'm going to read from this one because, like I said, it's a new deck for me, and so I don't know these particular messages. And we also have sacred geometry behind him, which I didn't pick up before, only picked up the one at the front. Listen to what's coming up within you and what is being shared with you by trustworthy others in your life. Pay attention to healing information. So this card is really talking about, notice what's happening around you. And these cards here are very, very linked. So it could be that it's related to your health, and it could be physical, mental, spiritual, emotional. It could be any of the varying types of health or healing in our lives. But it feels like you're being offered some information. So the person there, or the angel there, has their hand open, which is a symbol of a gift coming your way, or some information or a message. And it seems around the medical side. I'd say that more so than in those other ways that I suggested, because it has that medical caduceus. But it doesn't mean that you're going to hear of bad news. So I don't want you to think that. I just want you to be open to hearing information about making your life or your lifestyle more improved at the time of the new moon. And, it is a great time to look into being healthier and balancing, your health at this time. So we have buffalo and abundance, and you're provided for in all ways. And I think the buffalo card about abundance is explaining to you that guidance, assistance, spiritual sustenance, not nustenance, they're always available to you. They're always on offer. And buffalo, you know, like it talks about having enough to eat, but, or, you know, in a very, very simple term. But this is more than that. This is understanding that this information's always on offer to you and that you can tap into it at any time. And it feels like your guides, your higher self really actually want you to pay attention more to what's around you. And that's why the card focus is coming up. You know, it could be that you get a spiritual teacher come in who gives you advice about healing, and it may be around the lines of meditation, because meditation can lower your blood pressure. Using breath work can you know, send all of those diagnostic symbols or measurements that Western medicine focuses on. They can be improved by spiritual practices such as Qigong, which is something that I teach and facilitate. Meditation, again, you know, those sorts of things can be big life-changing things in our life if we choose to let them. And it feels like you're having this new thing come into your life at the moment. And the dove, not only is it a symbol of peace, but it is also a symbol of a messenger. And these two cards feel very linked in that sense. They feel like there is a messenger coming to you. And it may be that you find somebody new on YouTube to watch that is all about, you know, focusing your energy and bringing more balance into your life. So let's have a look now at your other cards. And right next to the buffalo card, we also have Pomona, and she's about plenty. She is the goddess of fruit, or she's a Greek or Roman goddess and related to harvest and fruit trees and abundance and cultivation. So all things cultivating, we need to cultivate our health, our well-being, all those sorts of things that sometimes we think they're magically going to take care of themselves. So we've got two cards here that are supporting you in abundance, and then the third card along the bottom. And I often see these as the energy that is supporting this upper energy, which is sometimes what we're feeling, and this is kind of like the undercurrent or the hidden stuff that we don't always know about. And that would make a lot of sense here with the two symbols of abundance that you have underneath. It's kind of like your spirit guides are really working with you, and they want you to know that everything's taken care of for you, and that there's more sort of harmonious energy underneath than you understand. And here we have medicine again, and we've got medicine on the level that you understand, but we also have this level here, and we also have another white bird. This one I feel is an eagle, but we have the white bird messenger, and we have medicine. So again, we have medicine happening on this spiritual level, this supporting level in for you around the time of this new moon. And the other thing that I really want to pay attention to, so we've got that medicine aspect here, and we have a very strong connection with sacred geometry. So perhaps it could be that you focus in and really pinpoint some sacred geometry that might work for you. It could be that you you have a flower of life and you place it on a window in your bedroom, or you have a flower of life, and because you can get stickers, or you can find another way. But it's kind of like maybe you need to include that flower of life into what you're doing at the moment, and perhaps, maybe even lean into some spiritual teaching around sacred geometry. But it really does feel like there's this focus on and a deepening into sort of your medicine and healing aspects that are going on for you, but knowing that everything is, that you're always provided for, and that everything is, you're cultivating and working towards the right thing. But it is that you've got to kind of like bring your focus in a bit more. And then it feels like, you know, this card comes in. Contentment. As a master, I have come to terms with, I'll start again. As a master, I've come to terms with and accept who I am. I no longer compare myself with others. And that feels kind of really light now that I say those words. It's kind of like this contemplation that you can see here. It's like you're, perhaps for some of you, it might be that you are healers and that you're waking up to that aspect. But it really does feel like either a teacher's coming in for you, you're actually a healer, and you're going to understand how it's much more closely tied into your life than you've understood before, and you're really going to focus on it. Or there's an element for you to work through for healing. So there's three different ways this reading and the could indicate for you. But in the beginning, when I was looking at this pile one, I wasn't seeing that you were a healer. And it feels like now that we've come full circle into the fullness of all the cards, now I'm understanding that some of you may be healers, and that you may have put it down for a little while. You may have been a little bit, your energy may have had to pull back, but it's like the flower of life is something that can really help you focus on your healing abilities and on bringing in this message of medicine, spiritual healing, or physical healing, if that relates for you on that different level. A really interesting medicine and healing reading for you at the time of the new moon in Libra. So it's about balancing that, because you may have started focusing on some other things, and it's your guides want you to refocus and either focusing on your own personal health, your own spiritual health, and the idea of you being a healer, and the idea of using sacred geometry to support yourself and your health. So I don't know if I finished what I was saying before, because I did get interrupted, that you are able to, use sacred geometry in any way. You could put it under your pillow while you're sleeping. You could put it in your purse or your wallet, or, your car. Anyway, you might feel inspired to do, but it feels like it's calling out for you to take notice about the flower of life. It's a very potent sacred symbol. Thanks for watching today. Thanks for joining me. If you've enjoyed this reading, please give it a thumbs up. If you feel inclined, please share it with family and friends, and please subscribe if you're interested in pick a card readings. I do 2 a week. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you again soon. Bye. Hi, pile 2. If you picked the beauty card, this is your card here, and we'll get to that in a second. Beauty. Using my inner eye of wisdom, I see the qualities of those around me, loving my inner being, recognizing the wonder of circumstances. Hang on, I'm going to read that again because that did not sound right. Using my inner eye of wisdom to see the qualities of those around me, loving my inner being, recognizing the wonder of circumstances. I still have used the wrong intonation with that, but I do apologize. As a master, I see how perfect everything is. And then we have the mystery, but we have the mystery upside down. And while this card has actually got green tones in it, my camera is picking them up as brown. So interesting. That is really, really interesting. So interesting. Yeah, that's bizarre. But it is in the upside down position. Now, the other thing that I'm noticing is that it almost has the Libra symbol there. It's not quite, but it's very similar. So around the time of the new moon, it feels like the mystery of life is going to start talking to you, communicating to you, maybe asking you which path you want to go down. And while it's in that position upside down, it's kind of like you might be tempted to go that well-worn path, the path that everyone else chooses, because you're focusing on the fact that it looks clear, it looks well worn. But the thing to notice about this card is that it's guiding you to go another direction, because it's showing you that this path ahead is not always as it seems. And when it's reversed, or when it's in this position, it may even suggest that you need to go backwards, take another step backwards and see what you're being reminded of. What else? What is something that you might have missed is what I want to talk to that card about. This card is Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. And these cards are some new cards for me, so I don't know them very well. So I may choose to use the guidebook, but I'm not 100% certain yet. So we'll just see how we go. But let's put all your cards out. And abundance cards keep coming out today in the readings that I've been doing, which is really kind of interesting. So let's make sure you can see everything there. Good. So we have here the Mirror Guardian. Take time to reflect. And as I said, these cards are new for me. So this is a beautiful angel, female angel, who is asking you to reflect on what's happening in your life at the moment. And she's using a black mirror to gaze into who you are and what's going on in your life at the moment. And again, that card feels quite linked to this, which of course it should, but that these top cards are all in the reverse. And so for me, often when I'm doing a reading, the top energy cards are the card related to how you feel and what you can see in your life, and these bottom energies are more so what's supporting you and what's going on and what is unseen in your life at the moment. So for me, it's kind of like at the time of the new moon in Libra, you need to balance the scales by reflecting on what it is, and where you're going is the other thing that wants to come up at the moment. So this card can talk about who you are in the world, but it because we've got the mystery card, it feels like it's about where you're going, where you're headed, where you think the next step is, what is ahead for you, that sort of thing. And we also have the Shaolin Master. Be graceful in movement and action. And a Shaolin Master never uses, is never aggressive or uses force. And it's, as you see there, there's the yin and yang symbol, so this signifies that you have this power and strength. And maybe you've been a bit too assertive recently, or the opposite could be true, that you haven't been assertive enough. But we can also see the grasshopper there, and it's showing us that there needs to be yin and yang, and at the moment it's out of balance because it's turned up the other way. So and this is about being graceful in movement and action. So at the moment there's this big reflection needed because something is completely out of balance for you, and we are not in this state of beauty or a state of grace. So these cards here are symbolizing and signifying to you that it's time to have a better look at what's going on before you take the next steps. Now we have seer, which is beyond the current situation, and this is it's absolutely spot on in the sense that this card is asking you to trust your inner wisdom. It's asking you to connect with that clairvoyant or that clear sense inside yourself that'll help you find the next right move, the next way forward. And you're supported by some really great cards here. So we've got self-love. Aphrodite was all about beauty and love and, all those sorts of things, a beautiful goddess. And it's about understanding who you really are. So underneath we've got the card of you looking in the mirror, and an aspect of you looking in the mirror, and you're not seeing all the wonderful things that angels or your guides or your higher self actually see about who you are. They see all the positive qualities, and this is out of balance at the moment. So we've got some key things around in your life that are really out of balance and not in this beautiful sense of grace. So self-love, it's time for you to start seeing yourself a lot more clearly, because sometimes we can stop ourselves progressing in life by something we could never imagine could actually affect us so much. But what happens is it gets stored in the body in a way, and it really hampers our way of moving forward. And I think what the whale is coming in to talk to you about is it's your soul path that you're on right now, and it's turned upside down because you're not honoring your soul's purpose. And whale is such a heavy creature, and it's the type of creature that we wouldn't imagine floats, but it's divinely, constructed and fitted for its purpose, as are you. You are divinely constructed and fitted for your purpose. So it's about seeing beyond these limitations that you can see, and understanding that, yes, you may not know the right way to behave all the time, but that you actually have an abundance of gifts to share with, with the world. And at this time, it's about there's a setting of boundaries, but there's also that lifting up. So with my hands, I want to bring things into balance, because it's out of balance. As we can see with your top 3 cards, they're all out of balance. And there are some things you really need to pay closer attention to really look at, to allow these subtler energies to come into your life and rebalance some of these other things. The abundance is sitting there. It is a gift for you to share with others. So it's this abundance here is not the abundance of riches and treasures. It doesn't say that it's not, but what it feels like is more along the lines of the abundance in your gifts that you need to share with others. And hawk, focus. And one of the other cards was about focus, but theirs was, or one of the other piles was about focus, but theirs was solely on focus, whereas yours is about choosing your priorities and eliminate all distractions. And hawk is very clear, but you can see that hawk is also looking towards the past. So we have 2 signifiers here who are both looking towards the past. So there's this element here that needs to be redressed. It looks like you need to focus on some actions from the past or some decisions in the past. And it's not about righting a wrong. That's not what this is about. It's about having a look at it and seeing if it still fits with you. Like I said before, you're completely perfect for what it is that you've come into the world to do. If you think you're going to walk this well-worn path and you're going to fit into that and everything's going to be perfect, this is what your guides are telling you at the moment. That is not fit for you. That is not fit for purpose. That is not for you. You are out of balance in these areas because you're focusing on the wrong thing. It's time to look back over some recent decisions or choices that you've made, or even a path that you've started along, and go back to what is in grace and beauty for you, so that you can turn these things around and see yourself for the beauty that you are, because there is so much beauty in you that you are not seeing at the moment. You are putting yourself into a little box, and you're telling yourself that you need to stay there because this is how everybody else lives their life. This is the path that everybody else goes down. And your guides want you to know this is not your path. This is not your way forward. And it's going to feel out of balance. You're not going to feel very happy or content, or there'll be frustrations because you're not seeing these things clearly. You're not looking after yourself. You're not loving yourself. And you're not understanding the abundance that is within you to be shared. All of these things can be flipped and quite easily. It's not This is not a dire situation. This is not a situation where you need to worry about it and invest a heap of time. This is about focusing on particular aspects of your life and seeing if they fit for you. And if they don't, it's time to get rid of them. It's time to choose a new path. This is a really interesting reading for you today. It's a really strong message from your guides. So much beauty within, so much abundance, so many gifts to share. And you're on this amazing journey and path. And it's now time for you to wake up to that a bit and see the beauty in yourself and not continually go down a path that you think you're supposed to be on. Thanks for watching this pick a card today. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you like pick a card readings, subscribe to my channel for 2 a week and share this with family and friends if you're so inclined. Hope to see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye. The Bard, and you have delight. With childlike amazement as a master, I let myself be totally spontaneous, enjoying the wonder of it all. I delight in the drama of life. Well, that is an awesome card to start with, and you have the Bard. And the Bard is all about music, poetry, myth, history, the enchantment of storytelling. And it's in the reverse, so it shows it's a little bit out of balance at the moment, but let's have a look at what that means for you. So we're looking at Libra season, and Libra season is all about, balance and harmony. So we want to have a look at what is maybe out of balance for you. It's interesting because you've got communication underneath the Bard, so perhaps it is that you're out of balance with your communication at the moment. But let's have a much closer look into these, into the cards that we've got for you. So at the at the new moon, it's a great time to set intentions. So perhaps after watching this, you can work with where things are out of balance to bring them into balance, because that's what Libra wants us to do. Wants us to be about beauty, harmony, and bring things into balance in our lives. So the first things that we're looking at is communication. And the Bard is all about that. It's about, your own personal history. It's about singing, songwriting, music, and that light touch. And perhaps that is the thing that's out of balance at the moment. Perhaps your style of communication has tipped the scales in the wrong way. And if you see, so often when I do these readings and I have cards that are kind of balanced on the top and the bottom, it feels to me that these are the energies that you're experiencing, and these are the ones that are supporting you underneath. And sometimes we're not aware of the energies that are supporting us because we often overlook the signs and symbols of our guides talking to us. And here it's showing you that wonder of communication, how it can be gentle and blessed, and how it can, and it can be this thing that opens us up to each other. And for me, I'm feeling that that's out of balance for you. So it's kind of like, instead of having that childlike delight at communicating with people for that pleasure of the fun and, how it can be mutually agreeable, it can have, we can tell each other stories, we can enjoy each other's company. It feels like that's how you want to be, but at the moment it's out of balance. And it's simply just something that your guides want you to be aware of. So let's have a look at the other cards and see what else is coming in for you at the moment. And I'm coming over here, which I wasn't going to, as I normally kind of go around, but I'm coming over here because this card here, Black Panther, is all about following your passion. And we have quite a lot of animal energy all looking towards the past, looking backwards. And it feels like perhaps, and they look protective too in nature, except the very peaceful white buffalo. But reflection, this wolf here is in this protection mode. It's, really thinking that the world's coming to get it type thing. And the Black Panther is all very passionate energy, but it's also looking towards the past. So it feels to me that whatever's going on here and whatever is out of balance feels like it's in the past for you, feels like it's something that has happened already and it's still processing. You're still not working it through. You're not allowing it to pass through. You're not allowing it to you're not allowing it to be righted, is what I want to say. It's like you're keeping yourself in a protection mode because you're not ready to see the gift of whatever this is. Okay? And when we're here, we've got the Peacekeeper. Let go of the need to be right. Like, these cards here couldn't actually symbolize a message any better, because this is where you want to be. This is this delight and amazement in and spontaneous and free. Yes, there is drama in life and it can sometimes be fun, but when it's in this kind of dire, dark, shadowy kind of energy, which is a reflection on you, not the person that you're having this communication issue with. This is a reflection of your, or can be a reflection of what's happening. For some of you, it may be that you need to be right in this situation, but that is the thing that will stop you moving forward and turning this into a situation where you can move forward, because at the moment everything is moving backwards, okay? Everything is moving backwards and it's staying where it is. So for you to change that situation, you need to focus on, bringing in a peace pipe, letting go of your need to be right. And it's a tricky situation when you're feeling hurt, which is how this card feels to me. And also, if we have a look here, we've got a lot of arrow energy, which is really, really interesting. We've got arrows. Surround yourself with protective energy. We have Apollo, who is very much about that sort of Mars strength and fight. Like this is totally opposite. Like, it's pretty amazing actually, because this is how you're behaving. But part of it's like, yes, you have every right to feel the way you do, because whatever this thing that is out of balance, it may not be your fault. And I'm not saying that it is, but meeting this aggression and this protective energy is only keeping you stuck here. So while you can say, well, yes, but I have every right to feel this way. And yes, you do. That's what the cards are saying anyway. The cards are definitely telling me that you have this, there's a reason why you feel the way you feel at the moment, while communication doesn't feel so great. While this, this goddess or god of war wants to come out and slay people, wants to spear people with this arrow, because this arrow is talking about, right, truth and justice and the way forward through things. But there is also a lot of arrows coming this way. So this arrow here, while you may actually, feel very right and true about how you have communicated, there's all these little arrows coming towards you that are being fired towards you. So it's kind of like, which one is right or which one is true? It doesn't really matter. What it's saying to you is that there is energy going both ways. It's time to let them go, and let go of the need to be right, because this energy, while you feel kind of, you feel like you have every right to feel that way, it's not going to get you anywhere. It's going to keep you stuck. So, yes, at the time of this new moon in Libra, we want to bring things into balance. It is about justice. Libra is about justice, but it's not justice for justice sake, and it's not just your justice. And that at the moment, that's what this energy feels too much of. This feels like it's, well, I want it because it's right and because it's just. My head's really spinning as I'm talking about it,
because, you have the right to feel that way. But the thing is, it keeps you stuck. So will you continue with it? That's my question to you. Let me know in the comments below if you found that to be particularly challenging, because I get it. And then the giraffe over here is the only animal that is focused towards the future. And it's looking across all of these other cards. And it's foresight. You are able to see what is in store for the future. This card is telling you that if you keep going this way without taking any notice of, this card here, this is the way it's going to play out. You're going to continue to feel out of balance. You're going to feel like you need to protect yourself, that you need to be on guard. This shadow energy that is coming up for you is coming up to be healed, not so that you can justify why you're staying there. We often get stuck in these situations. I know I do. I get stuck in these situations where I feel like, but I feel I'm right here. But it's not about being right. It's not about losing face. It's nothing about that stuff. It's about being a peacekeeper, understanding that you have foresight. The way you're behaving is going to continue and continue. There is no way out here. This is a continual loop back to the past. And even the giraffe can see it, and so can the peacekeeper. There is a need for change here. There is a need to open up and to see the wonder and the delight in communicating for the sake of moving through situations. And when you're the peacekeeper, it doesn't mean that you give in. It means that you change how you come about something because you know that you don't need to be right. You have enough self-confidence and self-belief, because this is the energy that you have that supports you. And it's Apollo and, the god of war. You have this here if you need it. You don't need to back down and surrender. But keeping the peace is a really different energy. It's coming from an empowered position, because you know that this other stuff just keeps you stuck. It keeps the situation stuck, but more importantly, it keeps you stuck, and you keep going backwards and forwards and never getting out of it. And that's not who you are, because you can see here that communication is key for you. It's the thing that supports the very nature of who you are. And so when there is an element of your communication that is stuck, that's a big deal for you. This is a very interesting reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are, because there's some really challenging ideas in this pile today. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. I love it when you comment below. I love it when you share my videos with family and friends, and when you subscribe. I hope to see you again soon. Bye. And high pile 4, if you picked self-respect, this is your pile around the time of the new moon in Libra. As a master, I see myself with both love and regard. I respect my truth and my qualities. I give myself the time I need to reach my full potential. I do not listen to insults. Wow, that's pretty powerful. That was in the reverse. So I'm just remembering now. And restriction was also in the reverse, which is actually a good sign, because it means that restriction is actually, on its way out. It's not completely cleared, because otherwise it wouldn't be there. But you are being told that the restriction is, on its way out, is moving. So let's have a look at your other cards. And I'm using some cards that I haven't used before today. So I may not know the meanings of the cards, so I'm going to go with what my intuition is telling me, what my guides are telling me, but I may need to check the guidebooks. So as I said in the beginning, I think that you're really courageous for choosing this particular pile because you had 2 reverse cards. However, I'm hoping that you went with your intuition and that was what guided you to pick this pile. And let's have a look at the meanings coming up for you. So it feels like there's this quite a warrior kind of energy coming in here around you at the moment. And we've got Hecate, I don't even know how to say her name, and I am not familiar with that goddess, but she is talking about illumination and she is holding up a torch, and she looks like she also has a key in her hand. And the card above it is all about, restrictions and the restriction being released or being removed, or the door being opened. Okay, they're the symbols from this card. And so having these 2 below or above and below each other, and this feels like the path has also been turned upside down, and it does feel like quite a lot of chaotic energy coming in for you at the moment, and it feels like it's a time for you to bring in your inner warrior. So in Libra season, it's about yin and yang, it's about night and day, it's about balance, it's about harmony, it's about beauty. And for me, it's kind of like you're going through a process where your path feels like it's been turned on its head, and at the moment your like night and day have been switched out. Even the monkey is black and white. It feels like everything's been turned upside down for you. But this illumination is coming in because it's like that was meant to happen. These things have been meant to kind of shake you up, for you to take notice, for you to start listening, for you to start focusing on different things. And my voice is changing. I feel it's going deeper. So we have Medicine Mother and honor your inner knowing. And it feels like to me that you're being asked to really step back from this path over here and to sort of have a fresh look, really being drawn to the eyes, the symbol of infinity around the eyes, and taking a different look. And I can feel this really cool air coming in my feet. It's like a fresh perspective is opening up for you, and one that you will not have known about before, will not have seen before. And it's kind of like it comes out of magic, which is really kind of strange. But it's kind of like, because this night and day has happened, everything's been turned upside down so that you can see things completely differently. So like, I'm an art teacher as well, and one of the things I teach people is to turn something upside down if they want to try and draw it without their brains getting in the way, because then your brain is only focusing on the things that it can see rather than naming them. So when things have been turned upside down, instead of looking at it as you have before, you then start using different senses. Instead of using that brain that thinks it knows everything, your inner knowing can come in, your inner sight can come in. This illumination of what's happening can come in for you. And Shield Maiden, she's coming in for you because this warrior energy is so coming in for you. And she is talking about preparing yourself, making plans, focus. And all of the readings today around this time have all had an element of focus. And it feels like everyone's being, and those eyes over there, really drawn to focusing in. And it feels like everyone's really in need of shifting their focus. And so perhaps for you, it's the most disruptive energy that I've seen so far. But it's like, you have to disrupt sometimes so that people will change their trajectory that they're on. We have Monkey with ingenuity. The situation calls for adaptability and innovation, and that just sums it up totally, because that's what you're being asked to do. You're being asked to throw everything that you know away and to come at this from a really different perspective. We've got winter. Take care of your needs. It doesn't mean that you don't care for yourself, you don't look after yourself and your family, because wolf is always about family and dependence and, our pack. So it's take care of yourself first so that you can look after other people. But this time of this disharmony that you're going through is there for a purpose. And we have freedom and this, that wild horses, we have them going around and round, or not around and around, but we have them going through the yin and yang symbol. And as I talked to you about it, but because I forget, because I'm doing more than one recording of the reading, is that we're working through balance and harmony, and the yin and the yang is the night and day, is the masculine and the feminine, is the out of balance, in balance. And this is what's happening, but it's leading you to this feeling of freedom, because at the moment you're working in this, you're feeling very restricted. You're not feeling like you can move forward, and the restriction is there so that you'll take notice, so that you'll stop pushing forward blindly, and you will start looking differently. You'll start illuminating. You'll start looking through different eyes. You'll acknowledge your inner knowing. You'll look with innovation, like you'll start planning things and focusing differently. It's kind of like if you've been planning something, perhaps put it aside and then have another go, and I'm putting my hand to the left and then I'm pushing to the right. And it's kind of like the left is all about, usually it's our intuition, but it's kind of like push away to the side or to the past, whatever it is that you've been working on, and maybe have a, just even a quick go of a different plan with a different focus that's more aligned with your freedom, feeling freedom, and illuminating this path in a different way, and not in the way that you think you should be doing it, but in the way that frees you up, the way that makes you feel enlightened, illuminated, working with innovation, with your inner knowing, and feeling this inner warrior that knows who you are and what you want from all these situations. And then we have porcupine and innocence, and we have free yourself from guilt and shame. And that sums this very perfectly, because it feels like you've been creating these barriers around you within this area of restriction, and it's like you're feeling really guilty. It's like it's all your burden to bear when it's not, and don't take stuff on when it's not meant for you. It's meant as a message, and it's not meant for you to wear it like a crown of thorns, or to wear it as a burden. Don't put it on your shoulders. Don't take things on that aren't yours. You are free to choose what you pick up. The restriction is there to stop you. That is plain and clear, but it's how you choose to act from there, how you choose to illuminate the situation, how you choose to light it up and use the keys that you have to move you forward into freedom and into this warrior spirit. And we have self-respect. Oh, doesn't want to come up. Self-respect reversed. And I want to read this again, because when we think about it being reversed, it tells us that we are out of balance, which is perfect. So we want to set intentions that allow us to bring this into the light. As a master, I see myself with both love and regard. I respect my truth and my qualities. I give myself the time I need to reach my full potential, and I do not listen to insults. And what Spirit wants me to reinforce there is even from yourself. You know what I mean? Like, don't beat yourself up. Don't go into this victim mentality because you're being stuck at the moment. Because you're being stuck for you to learn, not for you to push yourself into a hole or dig yourself into a hole. It's about finding your freedom and finding your inner warrior, so that you can come out of this period of restriction in a better way, so that you'll have this self-respect for yourself that you don't see about yourself at this point in time. And it's your inner knowing, and taking care of yourself, having adaptability, innovation. There's some really great messages in this spread for you. Hope you've enjoyed this reading today. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Please share with family and friends, and subscribe if you like pick a card readings. I do 2 a week. Thanks for joining me. I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.